Jupiter completes its 4-month-long retrograde and stations direct on Wednesday, November 23rd. This is quite exciting because it coincides with the new moon in Sagittarius, ruled by this Jupiter. So we can expect good luck, optimism, and more clarity when it comes to our beliefs and guiding principles. Let's take a closer look and break it down for all 12 signs. My name is Anastasia. I'm a traditional Western astrologer specializing in natal, relationship, and predictive readings. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe, hit that like button, leave me a comment. It really helps my channel grow and helps me bring more videos your way. And I appreciate any interactions I have with you guys. Before we dive into the video, I wanted to let you know that I am currently running an early Black Friday sale. So you get 20% off from my entire website, candles, oils that have gemstones in them and are good for working with weaker planets. Like this is a Mercury in Virgo candle, really good for people with Mercury in Pisces or Sagittarius or any other Mercury retrograde issues, Mercury in the dark house. I also have products for Venus. So everything is 20% off. Use the code Black Friday, all caps, to take advantage, as well as the sale applies to my readings as well, so you can get 20% off of them. I have done a video talking about the new moon in Sagittarius, so check that out because I feel like Jupiter stationing direct is not complete without also knowing about the upcoming new moon. So this is exciting on multiple levels. It's happening pre-Thanksgiving, right? On Wednesday, on the 23rd. It's coinciding with the new moon, so there's new beginnings. We're coming out of a challenging eclipse season with a lot of emotional turmoil, relational turmoil, and other challenges we had to face. And there's a lot of happy energy. Jupiter is the greater benefic. Jupiter wants us to learn and it wants to find coherence. It wants to find meaning. So if you have been questioning your goals and have been questioning your future path, Jupiter stationing direct can definitely bring more clarity to that. And the new moon, of course, is like you get the new moon, you get the clarity, and then you're ready to set off on your journey. Jupiter literally stations direct 5 minutes after the new moon. So new moon is 5:57 on Wednesday, November 23rd, and Jupiter stations direct at 6:02 p.m. How fun. Jupiter has been retrograde since July 28th, so approximately 4-month-long retrograde, and you may have been questioning what you believe in, as well as since Jupiter is the planet of coherence, maybe you've been thinking of how to bring more balance, coherence, alignment into your life. And because Jupiter conjoined the Sun on March 5th and basically started a new cycle of, it's like a new moon for Jupiter. We may have started a new cycle of growth and expansion. Right now we're closing it, or we're getting close to the end of it, because the next conjunction will be in April 11th. So we're in the last third, which might mean needing to release something. Like I feel like if this retrograde has been about you questioning your goals, questioning your beliefs, now you might be ready to make adjustments and let something go. And let's not forget that Jupiter has been in Aries from May until late October, meaning that we have had to deal with the idea of Jupiter in Aries, which is action-packed, brave, courageous, wanting to break walls, wanting to take risks. And now we're back to Pisces, meaning we are questioning how can we take those risks while needing to change things in our life. Like Pisces being the last sign of the zodiac naturally sometimes is connected to closing the cycle, releasing, letting something go. So if while Jupiter was in Aries May into late October, you have felt like starting new things, this could be the cycle of figuring out what needs to be released in order to get you there. To give you a personal example, for me, like, you know, as a Libra rising, maybe if you are a Libra rising, you can resonate and let me know how this resonates in the comments below. But for me, there has been this cycle of Jupiter being in my house of service and daily work. There has been a lot of work, to a point that at some points throughout the cycle, for example, we had a square between the Sun and Jupiter in late June, to the point for me that I have gotten myself sick from just worrying and working a lot and trying to handle too many things. And there's been a really important need to find balance between my relationships and my pursuits and my well-being, because as a Virgo, I naturally have a tendency to take on too much and feel like if I'm not taking on too much, what am I doing? So Jupiter now being in the house of health, I have literally today met up with a life coach talking about my workload, and, you know, I've been dealing with a little bit of a back pain and how I can bring more balance in my life. And that might include letting something go. That might include even literally letting go of my belief that I need to be extremely productive to be successful, right? It's not all about productivity, and a lot of times progress happens while we are still and quiet, and while we trust, because Jupiter is in Pisces. It is encouraging of trust. It's encouraging of spiritual growth. One of the things I've been discussing with the life coach today was getting back to meditating. So just like some of my personal stuff, maybe for you, this could be about going to church. Maybe it's about traveling more. Maybe it's about getting back to reading, which is something else I've been doing as well. But definitely look at what kind of exciting things may be happening in your life and how you can dial it back, how you can dial the excitement back in order to open up space for growth and abundance. And yeah, please share if there is anything that you've been considering letting go, or you feel like something you've taken on to a point that it feels like too much. And maybe the eclipse season has revealed some of those things. Because I think Pisces is the dreamer of the zodiac. Pisces is the idealistic sign, right? So, and Pisces loves to sleep, loves to take breaks, loves to imagine. So here it's very much about take a step back, look within, connect with the universe, connect with yourself through silence, prayer, meditation, astrology, anything that makes you happy, and trust that things will work out. It makes sense too that the Jupiter stations direct, and you may be thinking of letting something go as Mars is retrograding, so not the time for going straight head first into things, more the time of like looking back. So let's take a look at 12 signs and just quickly think of what this could signify for you. I have made a video about Jupiter in Pisces, so you might want to check that out, like Jupiter returning to Pisces, because it will give you insights about what Jupiter is trying to do in your chart right now. But it might also be significant to just consider where Jupiter has been and where it's stationing direct. For Aries rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 12th house, and the retrograde started in your first house and moved back into the 12th. So here you're finding a balance between your personal well-being, your health, your outlook on life, and your physical body. It's like both your physical body, your physical presence, but also your personal pursuits and your mental health and silence and retreat and spiritual growth. So maybe there have been personal initiatives and a lot of personal action and a lot of firepower earlier in the year. But now as Jupiter has gotten back into your 12th house, you are dialing it back and you're trying to find more peace and being more introspective, needing to release something. Because, I don't know, let's say you had an idea to start a side business, but before you start a side business, you need to examine your fear of failure. And so Jupiter being in the 12th house could be about releasing old beliefs, self-defeating notions, things that are not good for you in order to get you where you want to go. And it can also be just right now, I think spiritual matters could bring you a lot of answers, and traveling and doing yoga and getting away, spending some time solo while doing yoga. A big proponent of yoga here, could be healing for you. For Taurus rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 11th house. It retrograded from the 12th into the 11th. So Jupiter going direct in the 11th could definitely bring more clarity when it comes to the groups you belong to. Maybe it's a spiritual community, maybe it's your friendships that have been a little bit uncertain. Maybe you've just overall been questioning who's in your corner, who's supportive and who's not. Finding balance between quiet time and your aspirations is very significant here, because Jupiter stationed retrograde in your 12th house and went backwards into your 11th house. So maybe there's just been a lot of action in your immediate environment to a point that you have neglected to take care of yourself and you have neglected to give yourself space. So here, I think you are rethinking engagements, you're rethinking relationships from that perspective of how can you find more balance and peace and quiet. For Gemini rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 10th house, the place of career, and it started its retrograde in the 11th and went into the 10th. So for Gemini risings, you're looking for balance between your hopes and dreams and your plans for the future and your immediate resources or your existing career, right? With Jupiter in the 11th, you may have had a lot of big grand plans, desire to send a rocket ship into space, metaphorically, just some kind of exciting new project. And things may have needed some readjustment. So with Jupiter going backwards to your 10th house and stationing direct in the 10th house, you can expect more clarity as far as how to deal with your professional matters to reach those goals. For some of you, it might mean releasing a job. For some of you, it might mean restructuring your schedule so that you can get closer to your goals. For others, Jupiter deals with beliefs. So for some of you, it might be about letting go of a negative belief, letting go of self-doubt, trusting that things will work out the way they need to work out and things will clear themselves out. But it's interesting because Jupiter in your 10th house definitely, I think, wants to find a career that is more spiritually satisfying and fulfilling. So you can see a bit more clarity when it comes to those matters. For Cancer rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 9th house, and the retrograde started in the 10th and went into the 9th. So with Jupiter being in your 10th earlier in the year, and the next conjunction between Jupiter and the Sun, so the next new cycle starting in your 10th house, you are looking at some kind of breakthroughs and new beginnings when it comes to your place in the world, your career, your status, reputation, your passion projects, right? And with Jupiter retrograding back into the 9th house and now stationing direct, you may feel a sense of clarity when it comes to your guiding principles, when it comes to your beliefs, when it comes to your education and travel and legal matters that you need to handle before you get to where you want to go. There might just be some kind of, maybe you've had a plan to pursue a new career, but you needed to get education. So needing to deal with some kind of educational matters, maybe questioning whether you feel ready to become a teacher and actually taking steps to become one. I can see that here too. As well as just feeling more upliftment. I asked a question on Instagram. If you don't follow me on Instagram, Anastasia does astrology, please do. I asked people how are they feeling with Mars retrograde, and a Cancer rising replied that they're feeling a lack of faith, but I think Jupiter being in the 9th house and stationing direct should bring more faith into your life. Or at the very least, I also err on the side of thinking that Jupiter going into Pisces just means magic. At the very least, it will make you look for those kind of topics. It will make you take action in those areas. So taking action when it comes to reading spiritual texts, talking to teachers, could be very supportive right now. For Leo rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 8th house, and the retrograde would have started in the 9th and went into the 8th. So with Jupiter being earlier in the year in your 9th house, and the next Jupiter-Sun conjunction happening in your 9th house, you may be looking to move, you may be looking to change your life somehow. Travel, study, explore, write, publish, present your work to the world, but there's certain things you need to shed first. There's certain obligations, responsibilities, duties that need to be let go of first, or even certain debts you have to pay off, because Jupiter is stationing direct in your 8th house, which is all about how you interact with others, how much you rely on others. So you may get more clarity about your finances with this station. You may find the light and see kind of an opportunity to pay off your debt. Maybe it's with the help of your partner. Maybe your partner can also experience clarity when it comes to their financial matters, or your partner can be responsible and helpful to you when it comes to paying off debts. Or kind of, I think you just need to be very structured and very clear about how you're detangling yourself from debts and obligations. It's interesting because Saturn is about to go into your 8th house. So you want to make sure that you're preparing your financial matters and your resources so that you're ready to expand your life and take on a leap. But Virgo rising, Jupiter stations direct in your 7th house. It started the retrograde in the 8th and went back into the 7th. And Virgo risings might be dealing with some kind of issues of balance and fairness in partnerships and relationships, because Jupiter's station retrograde in the 8th house. There may have been certain relationships and topics of fairness and balance in your relationships that needed to be addressed. It could have been financial debts that you needed to pay before you start a business, let's say, or it could have been certain relationship healing you needed to do, letting go of a partner, of an ex-partner, of some even personal dynamic, even familial dynamic, kind of bringing more clarity to that sector of your life so that you're able to build better relationships. With Jupiter stationing direct in the 7th house, you can definitely find more clarity when it comes to relationships. Maybe you've been thinking a lot about how to find the right partner, how to approach dating, how to have more honest conversations. And now with Jupiter going direct, you will likely see an increase to your communication skills, your negotiating powers, to your power to draw in teachers, mentors, and potentially romantic partners too. For Libra rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 6th house. The retrograde started in the 7th and went into the 6th. I'm pretty excited for 2023 for Libra risings, not gonna lie. Say hi if you are excited too and you are a Libra rising, because there's going to be a lot of action in the sector of relationships and partnerships. And as a Libra rising myself, and as someone who knows other Libra risings, we tend to be quite relationship oriented. Of course, we always struggle with the balance between our personal needs and our relationships, but there might be something exciting happening in relationships, especially in 2023. And of course, like in the 7th house, this could be a start of the business partnership. This could be commitment, marriage, new relationship, some kind of new beginnings having to do with other people, or with your business, with your kind of partnership with the world. You know, here's my take, offering you candles and oils, and there is your take as a customer. So if you have these ambitions, if you have these goals, if you have these plans, Jupiter stationing direct in the 6th house is likely making you examine your health, your daily life, your responsibilities, and your workload, and needing to let something go there. A lot of focus on health, a lot of focus on well-being, a lot of focus on finding joy in the mundane. But how are you, what kind of beliefs do you have that guide you? What kind of actions are you taking? Are you aligned with who you want to be? Is your everyday life allowing space for the things you want to pursue? Be that romantic, be that business. And if it's not, how can you clear the space? How can you get rid of the clutter? I literally have some clutter to get rid of. To bring forth better partnerships. For Scorpio risings, Jupiter stationed direct in the 5th house. It has started the retrograde in the 6th and went into the 5th. For Scorpio risings, there is a lot of need to find balance between your everyday life, your work, your health, and your romantic relationships, or your creative projects, or your desire to be a parent, right? 6th house, Jupiter, next year, Jupiter conjoins the Sun in your 6th house. There might be some kind of major new beginnings when it comes to work. Maybe you're getting a new job offer. Maybe you're taking on a new project. Maybe you're studying, becoming a healer of some sorts. And you may need to do some careful balancing when it comes to your romantic relationship, right? Like, do you have enough space to pursue the things that you want to pursue? Perhaps you need to do some balancing. Jupiter coming back into your 5th house and stationing direct could also bring more clarity when it comes to matters related to kids. Are you planning to get pregnant? Are you working on getting pregnant? Your creative matters as well. There might be a need to find more joy in life and perhaps more understanding when it comes to creative projects. But because it's kind of the wrapping up of the cycle, I think you may be completing, not quite, but maybe you're completing some kind of romantic chapter. It's not the end of the book yet, but the chapter might be coming to a close. And so you need to bring more balance into your romantic life so you can start on new professional things, especially come next year. And if you're not in a relationship, this could be related to your relationship with your children. This could be related to your creative projects, anything like that. For Sagittarius rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 4th house, and the retrograde begun in your 5th and went into the 4th. This could be a few things. The retrograde starting and Jupiter being in your 5th house, lovely. Definitely brought a lot of focus to your romantic relationships, to your creative projects, to the matters related to children, childbearing, child rearing. And now that Jupiter is in the 4th, and now that Jupiter has about to go direct, and it has been retrograde for a while, this feels to me like needing to release something or needing to rethink something or finding clarity when it comes to your home, your family, your early upbringing, and seeing how those things might be blocking your love life or impeding or affecting your love life in a negative way. So you're likely to get some kind of clarity when it comes to your living situation. This could be unrelated to romantic relationships. This could also be the time where you see a deal on the house go through, or you see a sale of your home, which is kind of the same thing, or you finish a renovation project. So definitely some kind of opportunities for changing and making improvements to your home. But I'm also wondering, on a deeper level, what kind of needs do you have? What kind of past tendencies do you have that you're carrying with you that still affect your daily life and affect your relationships that maybe you need to rethink and let go? For Capricorn rising, Jupiter stations direct in your 3rd house, but it started the retrograde in the 4th and then retrograded back into the 3rd. So the retrograde starting in the 4th And the Sun-Jupiter conjunction happening in your 4th house next year, to me, feels like a sign of major developments when it comes to your home, family, real estate, and living situation. So maybe you're gearing up for some kind of change there. Maybe you're planning to move. Maybe you're planning to buy a home, renovation, new developments related to family, right? Like moving in with parents, moving away from parents. But then Jupiter being in your 3rd and currently stationing direct in the 3rd, to me is a sign that you need to look at your schedule, look at your daily life, look at the things that are filling up your space and relationships that are filling up your space right now, and let something go. This could be a sign of just like needing to say goodbye to your neighbors and to close some kind of loose ends, or figure out how your schedule is not allowing you to maybe save enough, or how your like relationships and your commitments are taking you away from your home and taking you away from finding peace at home. This could also be a sign of things clarifying, and there's starting to be some kind of forward momentum when it comes to writing, education, taking some exams. Like if you're taking exams and you've been waiting on an opportunity to take one, this might be the time. You may get more clarity when it comes to your ideas and your skills and hobbies, and some kind of business pursuits as well. So a few manifestations of this, right? 4th house deals with your home and family, so it could be somehow connected to your living situation or to your place of living. Even somehow connection between like your siblings and your place of living. Maybe you are fighting with your siblings for the home of your parents or something like that. But it could also be a lot more internal and connected to your self-expression, for example, because like 4th house, like I said, could be home, family, but could also be what makes you feel supported, what makes you feel valued, what makes you feel secure. So with Jupiter stationing direct in your 3rd house, perhaps something in your daily life doesn't make you feel quite valued and appreciated. It needs to be let go. Yeah, let me know how this resonates in the comments below. For Aqua rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 2nd house, and the retrograde began in the 3rd and went into the 2nd. Here you're looking for balance between your communication, your skills, your hobbies, your gifts, things that you can teach others, and your finances and values. Perhaps you have this dream to be a yoga teacher, but with Jupiter going back into your 2nd house, you need to figure out how that dream aligns with your current resources, how it aligns with your current values, right? Because maybe you also value being a parent. So Jupiter being stationing direct in the 2nd house could bring more clarity when it comes to finances and maybe making things work, making all these different things kind of come together and align for you. It's not necessarily going to be a quick process, but I think with Jupiter conjoining the Sun in Aries in your 3rd house next year, there's definitely a possibility of you presenting yourself in a new light, or of you following your skills and dreams. Financially, Jupiter stationing direct in the 2nd house could also bring blessings financially. Maybe there's been some kind of, this light is funny. Maybe there's been some kind of challenge when it comes to your finances or lack of clarity, and Jupiter going direct could bring more clarity, could bring even a payment that you've been waiting for. Finally, for Pisces rising, Jupiter stations direct in the 1st house, and it would have started the retrograde in your 2nd and went back into the 1st. So here you're looking at the dynamic between your finances and maybe your values when it comes to making money, or your values in general, and 1st house being your passions, maybe your desire to teach, your health, and your well-being. So somehow there might be a contradiction between your finances and like what you make money from and your actual goals with Jupiter being in Pisces. So you are encouraged to find a way to marry the two. Could be professional, could be personal, right? Like there could be also a difference of values between you and your partner and needing to clear the air between them and yourself. Jupiter stationing direct in the first house could also make you feel, especially until Jupiter stays in Pisces, which is December 20th, so approximately 1 more month, it should make you feel more like experience more forward momentum. Yes, Mars is still retrograde and not everything is as direct as we would like, but there's still a sense of taking action and maybe getting more opportunities or getting more understanding of who you are and what you want to be doing and what you need to let go. What kind of, maybe it's the way you make money right now because it's not satisfying. Maybe it's your relationship. Maybe it's your place of living. Something might need to be changed in your immediate environment in order to make you feel happier. So don't hesitate to make the changes needed for all of us. This is a positive transit, something I'm looking forward to. I think Jupiter being in Pisces is already showing up as quite beneficial, but Jupiter being direct in Pisces is double the goodness, double the fun. So have fun, enjoy it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.